Love, light, and blessings. This is Shamanic Awak Priestess here, and I wanted to make this video. I don't know, I feel like no matter how spiritual we are, I feel like honestly we all have those moments where we just feel as if we're like in a spiritual slump. Not that you don't believe, like I don't question what I believe, but kind of just feeling like not even overwhelmed. I don't know how to explain it. Well, basically, I had the tooth situation. I still worked and things like that. But I wasn't feeling well in the beginning. And then it was like before I got the oral surgery, it was like a week of like I was still doing spiritual stuff and things like that. But I took a break from doing any types of workings for anybody else um, for about 2 weeks because I always feel like when you're doing things for other people energetically, you have to be okay with your own energy. And I wasn't depressed or angry or anything, but I was physically ill. And I would feel guilty when people are like, oh, I need, they needed work since, or they wanted to get a reading because they needed a working. They felt like they needed stuff. And I had to be honest, like right now, I can't take that on. Um, or having to cut back a little bit on my schedule for like about 2 weeks. It even affected like me being able to do rituals because, like I told you guys, even if I'm not doing work for other people, I do work for myself. And also, I like to serve the spirit. So even if I don't need anything or ask of anything, I still like to light their candles. I still like to do their music. I still like to do a service for them on their days of correspondences and things like that. Um, but I was feeling like not that the spirits weren't there, but just like overwhelmed, I guess, and physically tired. And so I wasn't really doing a lot in the last 2 weeks. And I also felt like there was, stagnant energies. And even as someone who's a spiritual worker, like things can still creep in sometimes. And so yesterday and Sunday, yeah, St. Patrick's Day, um, I did a ritual for St. Patrick's, of course, because I do serve St. Patrick. It was like I wasn't as excited, and so what I did, like I did a spiritual bath on myself. I had my altars packed away because I had some work that was being done to the house, so I was away for that weekend. Um, so I had to like make sure that the paint the painting that was being done in the spirit room and in my bedroom and things like that wasn't going to get paint on my statues and my stuff. So I had to dismantle all my altars. And I don't know, like I woke up at 4 o'clock on Sunday and I just started praying. And then I had like a really difficult day on Sunday. It was very emotional. And when I act like that, I feel signs sometimes when something doesn't feel right. So I went and took a spiritual bath. Um, and by the time the night came, I felt like a sense of calm. And I did the celebration for St. Patrick. And I went to my spirits and I felt better. And then yesterday was like, I felt re energized and I started cleansing my home and things started to feel better, in my space. I'm like, I'm ready to work. And I did my first official ritual yesterday. But it started like a simple one on Sunday. And so, what I've learned on this path is that we all go through those times that we just feel overwhelmed, especially when you may have like other responsibilities, whether it's a family or a very demanding job, or you do spiritual work on a full-time basis. Things can become very overwhelming. And the things that I have learned to do to cope with that are spiritual baths. Spiritual baths are like a foundation of my practice. There's nothing better than steeping some herbs that are good for cleansing and obstacle removal, lighting a candle, which is what I did. I pretty much welcomed the spirits back in last night, every single one of them. and it felt good. Like I felt their protection. And all I did was just light a candle because that's all I had energy for on Sunday, and give reverence and thanks to that spirit. And then by Monday, I was able to do an actual ritual. You know what I mean? So I feel like, if you do have spirits that you serve, sometimes just going to their altar and actually crying to them. A lot of spirits were once human, so they understand what it's like to walk in the earth and have real life problems, because no matter how spiritual somebody is, we all get sad, we all have our personal problems, we all have our things in life. um and so it just made me feel better. I remember somebody asked me one time, you always look so happy. It doesn't mean my life is perfect, but what makes me happy is I have that faith and that relationship with my spirits, that they help me to get through the hard times and appreciate the good times. And so that's what I do, like spiritual baths, brewing tea. Like I did that in those 2 days, like making some tea with herbs that you could, of course, drink, making teas and stuff like that, and kind of dedicating those to the spirit, so that you can kind of balance yourself and make yourself feel better. Like again, lighting a candle in your altar, lighting an incense, maybe journaling some things when we're going through these hard times. Like I said, even if you don't have a candle or incense or anything, just going to that altar, going to that sacred space, and just talking and crying to that spirit, and saying, I'm sad right now and I'm going through this, that, and the other. And that's the things that I do when I feel this block. I, as long as it's not a medical issue, and I feel like it's more of a spiritual sadness or a spiritual sense of overwhelming, I do those things. And then yesterday, on and off between readings, I cleaned my house for 12 hours on and off, because again, I was dismantling my altars. I'm sorry, not dismantling. I was unpacking my altars and bringing them back in, because I brought the main spirits back in Sunday, but then I opened up my main altar on, sorry, I had like a hair that fell in my shirt, so I was like freaking out. Um, so I was like opening my altars back up and bringing the spirits back in Monday. So, that's important too. Maybe just cleansing your altars, spraying, oil or Florida water mixed with, mixed in a spray bottle or whatever you use to cleanse your space. Just clearing that space sometimes. Clutter, like I feel like when I physically clean my house, I feel more spiritual and I feel more connected. So sometimes just getting rid of the physical clutter, you know what I mean? It was just very cleansing and healing for me. Getting through a ritual when you kind of don't feel like it sometimes, but then like the spirits see that and they aid you, because you kind of fought to, I'm not feeling the best, I'm not happy, but I'm still going to do some type of a ritual. I'm still going to witch through the problem. I'm still going to light candles and do a spell or do a ritual, whatever it is that resonates with you, as a sign of faith that I know things are going to get better. The spirits appreciate that and they will reward you for that. So, just today, something happened. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but it just proved the power of the spirits once again in my own personal life, that I'm very blessed that that happened to me today, because it helped me to get out of that funk. So sometimes a sadness or stagnation is a way of the spirits letting you know, like it's a spiritual battle, or someone's doing work against you and you got to do something to counter it back. Or sometimes we just need to spiritually cleanse ourselves. Like I said, as a healer, we take on the energies of a lot of people, and it's very important for us to keep our spiritual house clean so that we can give that back. So I was very happy to be able to return back to the spiritual working part of my practice as well. So anyways, hopefully this video helps anybody out there who's going through any type of spiritual funk. And I hope that my tips serve you, and help you. So much love, light, and blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video. And until the next video. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, crystals. If herbs don't resonate with you, you can also do crystal. Like labradorite is a crystal that helps me when I'm feeling down or feeling stagnant. Because for me, I'm not saying that's what it is, but it's a very shamanic crystal, and I feel like I like the ancestors communicate with me through it. So I have a very strong connection to labradorite. So much love, light, and blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until the next video, guys. Bye.